Hey, welcome back to the channel. Got some hockey cards from Fan of the Sport. Here, every so often when I have some extra money, I go to Fan of the Sport and buy some old cards from that place. Marty's pretty good. If I buy more than one, he'll give me a discount. And he does have a Ken Dryden rookie card sitting in his shop, but it's for $125, but it's very poor quality. So I'm not really interested in that, but he's got some Gordie Howe and some Bob Yours. The quality's not the greatest, but he's definitely there. Anyway, let's take a look at these cards that I got from him. I'm going to start with the 1971 O-PEE-CHEE set. So this is 70-71. This is Montreal's Stanley Cup year, and it's called the Portrait Series. It's got Brad Park, defenseman for the Rangers, excellent player. Got traded with Jean Rattel to Boston later on in his career for Phil Esposito and Carol Vodney. Then we go to the 1970 O-PEE-CHEE set, so 69-70. This is Boston's year, and this is the Art Ross Trophy. Bob Orr won it that year, a defenseman winning the Art Ross. This card's in poor shape. It's got a ding in the corner. I probably could have got the one that was better quality, but I didn't have that much more money. Now, the rest of these cards are all from the 1969 O-PEE-CHEE set, so 68-69. This is again a Montreal year. I'm going to start with a guy I never heard of before, playing for the center for the Oakland Seals, Bob Dillabaugh. Paid $5 for this card. It's not in bad shape. Those are ugly jerseys. I like the California jersey that's green, gold, and white. Those were the great ones. These ones were terrible. So were the teal ones they came out with. We got winger, Philadelphia Flyers, Reg Fleming. Now I know he's been in the league since 1959, so he's played throughout the 70s or played throughout the 60s for a bunch of different teams. And in the 70s he jumped to the WHA. Another guy I don't know much about, defenseman, LA Kings, Bob Wall. Paid $5 for this one. Don't know much about him. LA Kings winger, Ross Lonsberry. Now I do know about him. He went to Philadelphia later on. Won 2 Stanley Cups, then got traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins, where he finished his career. Defenseman, Pittsburgh Penguins, Bob Blackburn. This is also his rookie card, and it's his only card. He never got another card, even though he played another season with Pittsburgh. He was mostly a career minor leaguer. Because in the original 6 era, a lot of the minor league teams were really good. It's the expansion that started opening things up for a lot of those guys. Toronto Maple Leafs winger, Floyd Smith. It's got a semi-crease in it. I paid $3. Don't know much about Smith. I know he played for a lot of years. Minnesota North Stars winger, Claude LaRose. Paid $5. Listen, this is actually in pretty good shape. Like I said, by the time I drive all the way to Heroes Cards and Comics and get a coffee on the top of that with Trudeau Economics, I pay almost the same price to get that card. Claude LaRose, he played for Montreal, where he won a couple of Stanley Cups. Then Montreal brought him back after 2 years in Minnesota. He went back to Montreal, won some more cups, and then in 75, 76, he went to the St. Louis Blues. And we got Hall of Famer center Ralph Backstrom, Montreal Canadiens. People don't realize it, but sticks were a lot shorter back then. There was a maximum stick size you could have. I'd have to go back into the hockey rules. But it's only in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s they started increasing the size of the stick. So if you're a tall guy, you'd have to scrunch over this stick. You couldn't use its taller stick. It's really weird how that is. But anyway, he got traded to the LA Kings in order to help them get better, so that Oakland got worse, and Montreal had Oakland's first-round draft pick. Of course, that's the rumor. That's the story that goes around. And that first-round pick was Guy Lafleur. Backstrom would later go on to the WHA, where he finished his career. Then we have defenseman, Boston Bruins, Gary Doak. He played for Boston for a lot of years. I have his last card from the 1980 OPEECHEE set, the Yellowbacks. Toronto Maple Leafs winger Wayne Carleton. Don't know much about him other than he went to the WHA. Paid $5 for that card. Pretty good shape. St. Louis Blues winger Bill McCreary. Don't know much about him. Played 168 games though. He averages 24 goals per year. Oh, let's see. In the minors. Well, I don't know why they... like how they put the cartoons in the back. I consider this the postage stamp back because it looks like a postage stamp would go there. But I like how they give little cartoons just detailing some players, some backstories. St. Louis Blues winger Camille Henry. He'd already played 700 games to this point. He was getting old. So I've heard the name, don't know much about him. Boston Bruins center Fred Stanfield. I have a couple others of his cards. I know he later went to the Buffalo Sabres. I believe he won a Stanley Cup with Boston. Defenseman, New York Rangers, Rod Sealing. Really good defenseman. He was in the Summit Series. Later, he got traded to the Buffalo. I know he played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I think he played for the Buffalo Sabres too. I have to check that. Excellent defenseman though in the 70s. And then the last card I have is the Prince of Wales trophy card. It's in poor shape. You can see a huge crease down the middle. It also has a puzzle piece at the back. So you get all these cards, all these trophy cards, and you can create a picture, a puzzle. They did the same thing in the 1978 O-PEE-CHEE set. When Montreal and Boston played in the final and went to 6 games, you get all the All-Star cards, and you can make a picture of Ken Dryden and Larry Robinson stopping. I think it's Wayne Cashman. In the crease. It's a pretty cool picture. So I'm going to try and get more of these and see what the picture is behind it. There we have it from the fan of the sport. If you go by the price, it's really expensive. The further back you go, the more things cost. And he does give me, if I buy more than 2 cards, he doesn't charge me the taxes. That's because I keep coming back. So I'm a regular. But these are good cards. I never had anything from that set. From that 69 set. So I just started collecting them because he has them there. But these cards will, they're good to do a start. It's fun looking at how the jerseys originally were. Because this is shortly after the expansion. And I definitely think that the Seals jersey was terrible. Their later jersey, when they went green and gold, was much better looking. And then I don't know what the hell they were thinking going with teal later on before they folded. Folded and headed for Cleveland. But they are interesting cards. The poses and all that. Wasn't much done for hockey cards back then. it got better. But any hockey card enthusiasts out there, let me know what you guys think of this little haul. And what do you consider to be the best California Oakland Seals jersey? Was it that one there? Or was it the gold and green? Or was it the teal color ones? Leave comments in the comment section. Until next time, this has been Hockey Night in Belmont.